Welcome to a day in my life as a cake business owner. Thoughts of this day haunted me because I knew it was going to be a really long work day, and it did end up being right around 15 hours. I did leave before midnight. That's always the goal. My marathon task was 150 cakesicles. These were for a wedding, and they wanted equal amounts of each flavor, so they had vanilla, lemon, red velvet, and chocolate, and they were all decorated differently. They kind of gave me free reign on the design, which was great, and they described their wedding design as if fall threw up on everything, and she wanted pumpkins incorporated into some of the designs. And I said, say less. So we did all kinds of fun fall colors you'll see soon. Ivory, forest green, we did orange, and then like a maroon, deep red, purpley color. And we did gold accents. I also had to bake and decorate 24 cookies for a different wedding order, so I wanted to at least get those in the oven before I finished the cakesicles. I tried to do myself a favor the day before by making the little pumpkin decorations a day in advance, and I had 2 different pumpkin molds. I used the one that had more cavities so I could make them faster, but the other one looked nicer, and I kind of knew when I left the night before that I was going to end up remaking these. So you'll see I'm kind of working on those while I'm getting all of these dipped in chocolate. I did also mix all my colors the day before for the chocolate, and honestly, that did help me out a lot. That probably saved me like an hour, so shout out to my past self. I really wish it was this fast in real life, but this took the majority of my day. I was working on these from like 9 until 6-ish p.m. You might be asking, MK, why did you leave all of this to do on one day? The short answer is that I was ill-prepared and I didn't give myself enough time, but there is a longer, slightly more legitimate reason that we will not get into. I used edible gold paint for the accents on these guys. I did like a splatter on some of them and then a paintbrush stroke on some other ones. Those ones turned out really pretty, I have to say. I make my edible gold paint with edible gold dust and vodka, but don't worry, you can't taste the vodka. It all evaporates. That's the whole point of using something high in alcohol content versus water, because it evaporates really quick. At the time when I was working on these ones, I was like, I told her ivory and these are more beige. And now looking at this, I'm like, oh my God, girl, get a grip. They're fine. They're ivory. By this point, all of my little pumpkin guys were done, so I just stuck them on, and then I used a little bit of milk chocolate to make the little stem. They turned out so cute. You could kind of see the other ones in a clip earlier, but these are nice and shiny. The other ones had more of a matte finish, and these just turned out so much better. Okay, time for dinner. I got Jimmy John's, love. I also got a Powerade, and I love to eat in my car. Remember those cookies I baked a few hours ago? Okay, time to flood them with royal icing. So I mixed all that up. This was a very similar color scheme, even though it was for a different wedding. Just like really pretty fall colors, kind of muted, nothing too obnoxious. Okay, for the record, I know eating in your car, for some people, that is like kind of depressing. I love eating in my car. I love being in my car. My car is big, it's comfortable, it's safe. It's the perfect liminal space of existing between tasks and activities. And like, I swear, like every day I get home and I scroll through Facebook Marketplace on my phone for 10 minutes before I go inside. And my husband does not understand it, but that's okay. It's not for him. It's just for me. Like, obviously I'm excited to go in and say hi and hang out. But then I'm going to be reminded of all these chores and tasks I need to do. And sometimes I'm just not mentally ready to be in the next place. Does that resonate with any of you, or is that unhinged? I don't know. Now I'm nervous. Okay, we gotta move on. I flooded these cookies, and then I did like a slightly lighter flood consistency piping of like some kind of floral design. So I did different ones for all 3, and then I had to get these under the fan so they had time to set before I wrote a little N+J on them for Nick and Jessica. Okay, I think it was probably 9 at this point. I'm on the final stretch. I just have to get some cakes crumb coated and decorated. So I whipped up my buttercream, and then I crumb coated 5 cakes for this weekend, all at the speed of light, obviously. It does take a lot of mental energy keeping track of all of my cake layers and what's heart-shaped and what's circular and what's getting what filling and what buttercream. But I have my little system. I've only given someone the wrong flavor like once, I think. Which, for, 5 years or whatever. That's not too bad. And even then, everything was right except for the filling. I just forgot to put the filling in, and then I felt really bad, and I emailed them. What kills me is that it's probably happened more than once, and I didn't realize, and the client was too nice to tell me. I enjoyed some little cake scrap sandwiches. Yum. I did have to finish decorating 2 of the cakes, but the other 3 were fine for me to leave to do the next day. The last task was finishing off these cookies. Sorry, my big head is in the way and all my flyaways. I love these cookies. They're so cute. And I just had to tackle these dishes, sanitize the table one last time. I did my little nighttime routine at the shop, and then I left at about 11:45. Good night.